Most mornings after 60, it feels normal to keep things light. I get up, sip my coffee, maybe nibble on a piece of toast, and sometimes I skip breakfast altogether. It sounds harmless, almost virtuous, like I'm keeping things simple. But here's the part I didn't realize for years: that quiet little routine was silently stealing strength from my legs. After 60, the muscles in our legs are no longer as forgiving as they once were. They require fuel early in the day, the right fuel to stay alive and responsive. Every morning that goes by without it pushes the clock forward on muscle loss, balance problems, and the kind of weakness that makes getting up from a chair or walking across a room feel harder than it should. The surprising truth is that it's not just age that robs our strength, it's how we start the day. That was my wake-up call. And it left me asking myself, what if the way I eat in the morning could actually flip the script and help me rebuild instead of decline? That question led me to a powerful discovery. The first 30 to 60 minutes after waking are like a golden window for your muscles. What you put in your body during this time sets the tone for the entire day. When I finally learned that, it changed how I thought about breakfast forever. Within this window, the right foods can send a clear signal to your body: repair the muscle you lost. Overnight, deliver more blood to your legs, ease those nagging night cramps, and even slow down muscle aging by years. Imagine giving your body that jump start every single morning. And here's the best part: you don't need complicated workouts or a cabinet full of supplements. The fix is as simple as choosing the right foods that most of us already know but often underestimate. In fact, I've narrowed it down to 5 specific breakfast choices that can keep your legs strong, steady, and mobile. Each one has its own science, its own way of helping, and I'll also point out the common breakfast mistakes to avoid along the way. And to start, let's look at a food that got a bad reputation for years but turns out to be a complete muscle repair kit hiding in plain sight: whole eggs. For a long time, eggs carried an unfair stigma. People avoided them out of fear of cholesterol. But when I dug into the research, I realized that whole eggs are not the problem. They're actually one of the smartest solutions for anyone over 60 trying to preserve muscle. Think of a whole egg as a perfectly packaged repair kit. It has protein that's complete, meaning it provides all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. And right at the center of that protein profile is leucine, the amino acid that works like a spark plug to ignite muscle rebuilding. Without enough leucine, the body doesn't even flip the switch to start repairing muscle. And here's the catch: as we age, our muscles respond less efficiently to protein signals, which means we need more leucine just to get the same effect we once did naturally. That's why eggs in the morning are such a game changer. A study from the University of Illinois followed seniors who ate 2 whole eggs with breakfast every day for 8 weeks. The outcome was impressive: measurable improvements in walking speed and lower body strength. That's not just numbers on paper; you feel it every time you climb a set of stairs or rise from a chair without wobbling. But eggs offer more than just protein. The yolk, the part many people toss aside, is where the real treasures live. Vitamin D in the yolk supports both muscle and bone, which is critical when we want to stay active. Vitamin B12 helps nerve signaling, keeping coordination sharp and balance steady. Choline strengthens the communication between brain and muscle, reducing the risk of neuromuscular decline. And then there's heme iron, one of the most absorbable forms, which improves circulation, reduces fatigue, and helps prevent those cramps or tingling sensations in your legs that often come from poor blood flow. Without circulation, no amount of protein reaches your muscles effectively. That's why the combination of high-quality protein plus circulation support makes eggs uniquely powerful. And they're practical, affordable, versatile, and easy to prepare. I keep it simple: boil them, poach them, or scramble lightly with a drizzle of olive oil. What I avoid is frying them in butter or pairing them with processed meats like bacon or sausage, because the unhealthy fats and excess sodium work directly against what I'm trying to achieve. The real surprise here: by throwing out the yolk, you're actually discarding the most important nutrients for muscle and nerve function. That realization changed the way I look at eggs forever. Still, protein is only one piece of the puzzle. To unlock its full power, my body needs a steady foundation, stable blood sugar, and gentle, anti-inflammatory support. That's where a humble bowl of oatmeal elevated with chia seeds comes in. At first glance, oatmeal doesn't scream muscle food, but it has a hidden strength that becomes obvious the older you get. When I pair it with chia seeds, it turns into one of the most reliable breakfasts for keeping my muscles steady and my nerves calm. Here's why. After a night of fasting, your body is highly sensitive to blood sugar swings. If breakfast sends your sugar spiking and crashing, it interferes with how you process protein, how your muscles repair, and how much energy you actually feel. Oatmeal solves that problem through beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that forms a gel in the stomach. This slows digestion, creating a gradual rise in blood sugar instead of a roller coaster. Studies link beta-glucan not only to better insulin sensitivity, but also to improved muscle recovery and lower markers of chronic inflammation, like C-reactive protein. That means your muscles get a smoother stream of energy and a better chance to heal. Then comes the real upgrade: chia seeds. Don't be fooled by their size. 1 tablespoon delivers magnesium, calcium, omega-3s, and potassium, all minerals and nutrients that aging muscles depend on. Magnesium helps ward off that stiff, achy feeling in the morning and reduces leg cramps. Omega-3s calm inflammation that chips away at both muscle and nerve health. Calcium and potassium work together to ensure your muscles contract and relax smoothly, preventing twitching or spasms. And when chia absorbs liquid, it swells into a gel-like texture that extends digestion, which means your body actually has more time to pull out all those valuable nutrients. In other words, chia doesn't just bring nutrition, it makes sure your body gets to use it. My routine is simple. I cook steel-cut or rolled oats, then stir in 1 tablespoon of chia seeds after cooking. That small step transforms the bowl into a muscle-supporting meal. Sometimes I add half a banana for extra potassium, or toss in a handful of blueberries, which are rich in antioxidants that fight oxidative stress in muscle tissue. If blood sugar control is a concern, I go easy on the banana and stick with berries, since they give me the benefits without the sugar surge. What I never do is reach for the instant-flavored oat packets. They may save a few minutes, but the added sugars and artificial flavors undo everything I'm trying to build. Here's the twist. Most people miss oatmeal may look plain, even boring, but in reality, it's a quiet powerhouse. By smoothing out my blood sugar and calming inflammation, it creates the perfect environment for the protein from my eggs to do its job fully. That 1-2 punch: protein repair from eggs and steady fuel from oatmeal and chia sets me up for the day. But there's still one more piece I add to make my breakfast work even harder: a natural source of electrolytes, to keep my muscles firing smoothly and to stop those sudden morning cramps. And that's where a familiar fruit steps in: the banana. When I want to stop those sudden leg cramps that seem to come out of nowhere, I reach for something sitting right on my kitchen counter: a banana. It's simple, it's familiar, and yet it might be the missing link to keeping muscles strong and steady. 1 medium banana holds around 400 milligrams of potassium, which is roughly 10% of what your body needs each day. Potassium is the mineral that keeps muscles contracting and relaxing in rhythm balances fluids inside and outside the muscle cells, and stabilizes the delicate connection between nerves and muscles. Without it, the legs become more vulnerable to cramping, twitching, or even shaky balance. The truth is, many older adults live in a state of mild potassium deficiency without realizing it. Over time, that deficiency chips away at strength, brings on fatigue, and even causes the slight tremor or unsteadiness that feels like it came from nowhere. But there's a smart way to use bananas. I don't eat them alone on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning. That can cause a quick spike in blood sugar that does more harm than good. Instead, I pair them with protein or healthy fats so the natural sugars are digested more slowly, fueling my muscles without the crash. That might mean slicing half a banana into my oatmeal, blending it into a smoothie with protein, or enjoying it with a spoonful of Greek yogurt. For anyone managing diabetes, kidney concerns, or medications that affect potassium, smaller or slightly underripe bananas are gentler options. These greener bananas also contain more resistant starch, which works like fiber and less sugar. Beyond potassium, bananas quietly deliver vitamin B6, crucial for nerve signaling, and prebiotic fiber that feeds the good bacteria in the gut, allowing me to absorb minerals like magnesium and calcium more effectively. It's funny, bananas are often criticized for being too sugary, but when combined wisely, they become a natural electrolyte solution that keeps my muscles hydrated and my legs coordinated. And to lock in that benefit, I like to follow up with a protein-rich food that's smooth, versatile, and packed with exactly what older muscles need: Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has become one of my go-to breakfasts because it's thick, creamy, and nearly double the protein of regular yogurt. That extra protein isn't just a number, it's the difference between losing muscle and preserving it. Inside Greek yogurt are two powerful muscle allies, casein and leucine. Casein digests slowly, releasing amino acids steadily, which is perfect for older adults prone to overnight muscle breakdown. It helps keep the body in preservation mode all morning. Leucine. The same amino acid we saw in eggs is the spark that signals muscles to start repairing. For people over 60, that signal matters even more since the body doesn't respond as strongly as it once did. But the advantages don't stop at protein. Greek yogurt also carries calcium and vitamin D, the duo essential for bone strength and neuromuscular coordination, two pillars of balance that protect against falls. And then there are probiotics, the living bacteria that improve gut health. A strong gut isn't just about digestion. It determines how well we absorb minerals like magnesium and potassium, and it helps calm chronic inflammation that otherwise leaves legs stiff and sluggish. Research even shows that better gut health translates into improved muscle function and energy. Choosing the right yogurt makes all the difference. I always go for plain, unsweetened varieties because flavored yogurts often hide 12 to 20 grams of added sugar that sabotage protein metabolism and fuel inflammation. If lactose is a problem, there are lactose-free versions or alternatives made from goat or sheep's milk, which many people find easier to digest. Then I build it into a powerhouse meal: a tablespoon of chia seeds for extra fiber and magnesium, a handful of fresh berries for antioxidants and natural sweetness, maybe even a sprinkle of cinnamon to help regulate blood sugar. And here's the part most people don't expect: thanks to casein, I don't need to eat again right away. My muscles stay protected from breakdown for hours. That slow and steady effect is a hidden gift for older bodies. Still, protein and calcium are only part of the story. To give my legs lasting energy and replenish trace minerals that plain table salt can't provide, I often turn to a food most people never consider for breakfast: steamed sweet potato with a touch of mineral salt. Replacing my morning toast with half a steamed sweet potato was a change I didn't expect to make, but the results in how my legs feel are undeniable. Sweet potatoes are packed with complex carbohydrates that release energy, slowly fueling muscles without the sugar spikes and crashes of white bread or cereal. They're also loaded with potassium, magnesium, and vitamin C, three nutrients that work hand in hand to support smooth contractions, relax blood vessels, and reduce low-grade inflammation that stiffens joints and muscles. And when I add just a pinch of Celtic or Himalayan mineral salt, the meal transforms. Unlike regular table salt, mineral salts provide more than 80 trace minerals, including magnesium, calcium, zinc, and sodium, each playing a role in nerve signaling and hydration at the cellular level. This matters because many older adults wake up slightly dehydrated, and without enough electrolytes, muscles can't contract properly no matter how much protein they've had. Here's how I use it. After drinking a glass of warm water to gently wake my system, I steam a small sweet potato until it's tender, then sprinkle a pinch of mineral salt. I keep it clean, no butter, sugar, or marshmallows. The natural sweetness is more than enough, and by skipping the extras, I keep my blood sugar stable. Sometimes I'll pair it with an egg or some Greek yogurt to create a balanced meal with protein, carbs, and electrolytes all working together. The science behind this is compelling. In fact, a study found that adults over 60 who ate high-fiber breakfasts rich in potassium and magnesium improved their balance scores by more than 40% and had half as many falls over 3 months. All that from something as simple as a small sweet potato. The twist is that most people never think of it as a morning food. Yet the combination of complex carbs and trace minerals gives me steady energy, reduces stiffness, and helps me move with more confidence. And that brings me to the bigger point I've learned: every morning presents a choice: nourish your muscles or ignore them. That choice is what I reflect on every time I sit down to breakfast. Can something as simple as a glass of warm water, a few stretches, and the right foods really change the way my legs feel? The answer from my own experience and from watching others is yes. The transformation isn't overnight, it's step by step. But with each morning of giving muscles what they need, the results build. My legs feel stronger. I move with more stability. I have the confidence to climb stairs without hesitation and walk outside without fear of stumbling. And the most surprising realization of all is that the difference isn't determined by my age. It's determined by my actions. Every morning, I get to decide whether I will nourish my muscles or let them decline. That's the power in this routine. So here's my invitation: give it 2 or 3 weeks. Try building these foods into your mornings and see how your legs respond. You don't have to overhaul everything at once, just take that first step. And if you found this helpful, stay with me for the next video, where I'll share morning habits that go beyond food and focus on the joints and connective tissue that keep you moving freely. Because the truth is, independence after 60 isn't something you lose all at once. It's something you preserve every day with the choices you make each morning. And now, you know you have more control than you think. Before you head off to your day, let me leave you with this. Staying strong and independent after 60 isn't about luck, and it isn't only about age. It's about the small, consistent choices you make each morning. A glass of warm water, a few stretches, the right foods on your plate, that's where lasting change begins. If you found value here and you're ready to take control of your health, one simple step at a time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. I've got more science-backed tips and practical strategies waiting for you, and together we can keep your legs, your energy, and your confidence moving forward. So subscribe now, and let's keep building strength day by day, morning by morning.